All right, we are looking at my top six. It was going to be top five, and I just couldn't decide. So, top six neighborhoods in northern St. Johns County. So, we look over here. We've got St. Johns County, and so St. Johns County does run all the way up here. It goes way down in like this sort of area here. But in this area, we got Racetrack Road right here. Come on, zoom in. It's not going to zoom in if I have the pen going. So let's zoom in here. Racetrack Road here is Duval is going to be up above here, and St. John's is going to be on the south side here. Until we get over to this area here, then we have Celestina. And then when we're in that area here, going this way, this is going to be St. Johns County as well. So north of this line will be Duval, north of Julian Creek here. And south, this is St. Johns County. So zooming way back though, we are looking at northern St. John's, and you see everything kind of spread out along here. And I am actually missing the other neighborhood that sort of forgot about and need to add. So no big surprises here. You can see which ones I'm going to be talking about, the pros and cons of. But let me throw one more on here. Actually, I guess I got to open this up in my maps. Bear with me here. One of the things I like to do for customers is custom maps. And so I've got a whole bunch of maps with different neighborhoods plotted. And this is, we add Silverleaf here, and we'll just do the amenity center. Add to map, get rid of that. And all right, behind the scenes here. There we go. Cool. So now when I zoom back, northern St. John's. Oh, wow, I've got a lot of different things showing up here. So this guy's got to go down to, all right. Okay. Anyways, we're going to bear with me here and just pretend that Silverleaf is right here. There. Here's Silverleaf. Anyways, so we'll start over here at Rivertown and talk about Rivertown first, and then work our way to the east as we talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons of each neighborhood. So here we go to Rivertown. And Rivertown it's been around for a while. It's a big community. It actually has two amazing amenity centers with a third one on the way. And the original one's super cool. It's got the water slide, the twisty water slide. It's got the pool. It's got the fitness center. But then they opened up the river club here on the river. And it's like my favorite amenity center. It is amazing. Has this sort of infinity pool type look. And you look out over the St. John's River. It's beautiful. They have a kayak launch. They have an open air room with like a pool table and a snack shop. And they have all kinds of things going there. It is fantastic. And the new amenity center is going to have everything else as well. It's going to have a lazy river and a lot of cool stuff going on. I love the amenities at Rivertown. Absolutely amazing. Really cool. So some of the cons, I guess, in Rivertown, I guess for, the last few years, it's actually maybe not a con as much now, but for a long time, there's only one builder in there. And so lack of competition is never as good for the buyer, in my opinion, is when you have several builders that are able to compete against each other. So it was all Mattamy for the majority of Rivertown, but we've got Toll and Mastercraft and some other builders in there now too. So that's taking care of itself. A lot of variety, a lot of different types of homes. You have rear entry, the like alley type homes. You've got some pretty large, beautiful estate style preserve sites. And you got everything in between as well. I'm a big fan of Rivertown. One of the other cons historically that's becoming less of a con is, well, we talked about Rivertown as being a place where if you want to get a slice of pizza, it's about 15-minute drive. And it is more rural, I guess. As we move in St. Johns County, as we move west, we tend to get a little more rural, less going on. But even as far as right here, we've already got this Publix is opened up here. There's Wendy's. There's a lot of different things in this area right now. I mean, not crazy amount, but it's not too far to fire over this way here, you know, and you've got your, another Publix and a lot of shops and restaurants, Ember and Iron, uh, good local restaurant here. There's Cuban food, there's Mexican food, there's everything in between right here as well. So it's not as far out as it used to be, and it's got some of the best barbecue around right next to Rivertown as well. So big fan of Rivertown, and the cons are kind of being taken care of. It's because there's some development moving that way, so you can get your shopping done. And like, let's face it, it's not a huge deal to have to drive a little bit further to get to 95. Get to the beach, it's further than Nocatee for sure. But in my experience, a lot of people moving down here, their intentions are, man, we're going to go to the beach every day. And then slowly that drifts away a little bit, not for everyone, but for a lot of people. And if you want to get out to the river, it's beautiful. They have a beautiful kayak launch, lots of cool stuff here in Rivertown. So big fan of Rivertown. All right, as we move, oh, it is a CDD neighborhood. And I bring that up because as we move this way, whoops, we're not going to Silverleaf yet. We're going to Shearwater, another CDD community. Shearwater's another great community, has a new school opening up in it next year. And one of the cons of Shearwater has been this area right here. It has been a 2-lane road in certain times of day, especially when school is letting in or drop off, pick up, all that stuff. Man, you just get crazy traffic through this whole area right here. It can back up this way. It can back up this way, all the way over to St. John's Parkway. Like it gets crazy at times, but they are in the middle of widening this already. You can see all the construction going on. They're going to widen this up. And the other problem here was this was the only entrance to the neighborhood. So you get several thousand homes with only one way in and one way out. Well, that is also being fixed now with the new school going in. They're going to have this access to the neighborhood here as well. So you'll have a back entrance and a main front entrance as well. So when you're down in this phase here, be pretty quick to fire out to 16 here. Um, Shearwater's amenities are fantastic. They have the lazy river, and I think the crowning jewel of Shearwater to me, well, if you're a tennis player, they have 5, I believe, hard true courts. So sort of like clay courts. From what I'm told, they're great. I don't play tennis myself, but the courts are really cool. They have one stadium style and maybe 4 other courts. And their gym is amazing. It's got like the hit workout circuit. It's got lots of weights. It's got cool bikes with little screens that show you where you're biking through different cities and things like that. And a big exercise room with screens where you pick your group workouts. My understanding is there's a really good community on Facebook where people will get together and do group workouts together independently, just using the big screens there. Great neighborhood. One of the other cons, I guess, is there's not really any walkability to anything like any type of shops or restaurants, no commercial stuff. They do have some light snacks. I think probably heat up some hot dogs and things like that for sale at the amenity center. But if you're going to go for anything else, really, you've got a short drive up here to the Publix in this whole area right here. All right. So, builders, David Weekly, Lennar, Ryan Holmes is new in there, Providence, um, Toll Brothers. There's been a lot of variety of builders in there, so there's a good variety of home looks and styles. Dreamfinder's really big in there right now as well. So cool neighborhood. Really, really, really big fan of Shearwater, Rivertown, Shearwater. And then as we move this way, we've got this unique area right here. This is Silverleaf. And so one of the big bragging points of Silverleaf is it's not a CDD community. So we've talked before, and we'll talk more about the difference between CDD and HOA. So this is not a CDD community. It does have a master HOA at the time of recording. It's about $100 a month for the main HOA, which gives you access to this main amenity center. And then each neighborhood has their own smaller HOA as well. So while Silverleaf Village has the main amenities as you come up here to Holly Forest, was a Dreamfinders neighborhood. They have their own little amenity as well. And so you might have $1,200 a year for the main HOA, and then your independent neighborhood HOA might be 250 a year, $500 a year, depending if you have a gate, if you have your own amenity center, whatever that takes to take care of that. And Silverleaf's actually really, really quite large. So it's planned to be about 15,000 homes. Where you talk about Nockatee's capping out around 12,000 homes. And so we talk about Nocatee being the big 800-pound gorilla. It is big for sure. When we look at like this whole area, and when I'm over on this side here, there's a lot of Del Webb over there. Whoops. All right, Pen. We'll start the circle here. And so you've got like this big area for not, oh, I need to go up here actually for Nocatee. Well, Silverleaf, I don't think it's quite as large, but it is pretty close. It's actually going from like down this whole area down to 16 and around in here. So it's big, big, big. Actually, it butts up over more towards Shearwater as well. I'm just making stuff up right now. It's big. It's in this area right here. And so I'm a big fan of Silverleaf. It's interesting. There's been a good variety of homes. You've got everything from Lennar and DR Horton / Emerald. You've got David Weekley. You've got Toll Brothers. You've got ICI and David Weekley do a lot of joint things. Riverside Homes. And so you've got Ashley Homes. You got a pretty good variety in there of your down and dirty production type builders. And then all the way up to like very custom luxury builders, maybe a townhome in the 300s up to $1.5 million+ homes in Courtney Oaks and some of these other newer areas in here. So interesting development to watch. And the cool thing is they also have commercial as well. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot here. So this side right here is going to be this is the main commercial area right here. I don't know if you can see where I'm dragging here, but this will be where your major shopping and all that sort of thing is. And it's golf cart communities. You'd be able to golf cart from your home, especially here across to the commercial stuff. But there are large golf cart paths along the side of the main drag here as well. All right. So we've had Rivertown, Shearwater, Silverleaf, and then let's talk about these twins over here. Not really twins, but right across from each other. Let's go over to Beach Walk next. If you guys have not heard of Beach Walk, then, oh man, I don't know if I can pull up satellite image here, but you look over here, there's a giant 14-acre swimming pool right here. It's really cool. There's nothing else like it. It's got a sandy beach. There's little fire pits. There's a swim up bar. They have a restaurant. They have a big clubhouse, tennis courts, a lot of cool stuff going on at Beach Walk. And finally, it's been promised forever, but we've seen a lot of progress here in the commercial side of things. So that's been one of the frustrations with Beach Walk was like, we're supposed to have shops and restaurants and things. Where are they? Well, we've started seeing them coming up out of the ground. It started with over on this side of the road on the Beacon Lake side. We got the Publix, we got Wendy's and veterinarian and nail place, that sort of fare. And then across the street, we got 7-Eleven, another gas station across the street. And we're really seeing things starting to pop up here. And we're going to have burger restaurants and poke bowls and all sorts of different things coming soon. And so that's great. And a lot of it is centered on the main big lake here. The big problem with Beach Walk, if it's a problem, one of the cons of Beach Walk is just the fees. The monthly fees are pretty high. So even if you paid cash and didn't have a mortgage for a house, you're going to be even around $800 a month in just fees with the CDD and the lagoon fee and the resort fee and all the HOA, the CDDs and all the fees. They add up for sure. Now you're getting club access and you're getting some really cool features for that. So it's just a matter of, is the value there for you? Is this something you're going to use a lot? It's something your family is going to enjoy. It's great. It's going to be awesome to be able to walk or take your golf cart or bike over to get to enjoy all the new commercial things that are there. But there's a price to it for sure. Over here, we've had a lot of Dreamfinders, a lot of Lennar, and then Richmond America and a bunch of other, or a couple other builders have been building in here as well. All right. So coming across the street, near and dear to my heart, I actually live in this neighborhood right here, Beacon Lake. And Beacon Lake is, I really like it for its location. And it's just quite a nice little stopgap between a lot of the neighborhoods that have super crazy, awesome amenities like Nocatee. It's got so much going on. Rivertown has so much going on. Beacon Lake is a nice little middle ground type of thing. We've got 4 pickleball courts, 2 tennis courts. We've got a good little gym, never super overcrowded, a pool, a little kids pool, little sports court with some half court basketball. And it's all anchored on a 43 acre recreational lake, which you can borrow kayaks from the amenity center and go kayaking, go fishing. Lots of neat stuff going on at Beacon Lake. I would say, oh, and then location wise, it's a hop, skip, and a jump from 95. 95 is kind of slow. Then we can hit Phillips Highway and get up to 9B up here. So it's choose your own adventure, if you will, a left or a right out of the neighborhood, depending on where you want to go. You want to dip down here to St. Augustine, just fire down one there. So it's a great location. Whoops, I just moved Beach Walk. It's a great location right in the middle of it all. And there's a Publix that you can get to without even going on the main road now. This road took a little while to complete, but it's open now. And so you've got the townhomes over here. You've got the houses over, well, this whole area here. And you have access to all of this stuff. And then just right across the street, you've got all the new stuff that's happening over at Beach Walk. Our fees are significantly less than Beach Walk, but I will say that one of the cons here in Bacon Lake is the operations and maintenance. So if you know anything about CDDs, there's a bond portion and the operations and maintenance portion. And when the developer pulled out of Beacon Lake, they had been subsidizing some of the O&M. And so that actually has increased now. And so there's a significant portion of the CDD now is on O&M, which means that even when you paid your bond off, you're still going to have a pretty significant CDD. But again, for the amenities and everything you're getting, I believe it's good value. I think it's worth it for sure. I'm a big fan of Beacon Lake, and you get to be my neighbor, right? All right, so let's fire over here to the one to beat, the 800-pound gorilla, the big bad Nocatee. And Nocatee obviously has a lot going on. You've got the splash park, you've got the spray park, which are different. We'll dive more in depth into the differences there. You've got 20 Mile over here. They have their own pool. Dip over here to Cypress Trail. They've got a pool over here. You dip down here to Crosswater, they have a pool, and then they're going to be building over in Seabrook, they're going to be putting in a big pool as well. So there's the main pool that everyone shares, and then each neighborhood cluster tends to have their own amenities as well. About 12,000 homes going in here, and it's really close to finish. This is big area here. And we grab the pen quick. So let's just explain the difference in a second. So really, I'm going to cut right down here and go across, and then we'll go Greenleaf, and we're going to go way up here. This is your main Nocatee area. And then this side of it here is interesting. Most of this is 55 plus. You have Del Webb, Ponte Vedra, and then you have, these are not great circles, Del Webb, Nocatee down here. And those are all 55 plus. And so between the two, you've got 2,000 homes here and you've got 850 homes here. So you've got almost 3,000 55 plus homes all on this side down here. And then, as I pointed out here, you've got the main area of Nocatee. Just to note, some of this area up here is actually in Duval County, and so it doesn't enjoy the St. Johns County schools. But most of Nocatee is in St. Johns County, northern St. Johns County. There are currently 3 schools in Nocatee, which is pretty incredible, and a fourth one coming on the way. So that's great. Cons for Nocatee, I think the biggest thing is just you're going to pay more for your house. Nocatee has a lot of advantages, a lot of pros. Golf cart through Starbucks, super special. A lot of neighborhoods your kids can walk to school. I find that super special too. My kids went to Valley Ridge Academy here when we lived over in Greenleaf Village. And man, they got on their bikes. They biked to school at 8 in the morning, came back at 3:30 in the afternoon. It was super special. But there is a cost to that, and the cost really is in the price of the home. The CDD isn't really more than any of the other CDD neighborhoods in the area. It's actually super reasonable, a lot of value there, but the home prices are significantly higher than a lot of the surrounding neighborhoods. So to recap, my top 6 neighborhoods and pros and cons in St. Johns County, starting from west to east: Rivertown, awesome amenities. In Shearwater, really cool amenities as well. Amazing gym. Silverleaf, HOA community with commercial. And it's kind of, if you're a pioneer, right, you get some more value compared to Nocatee. If it is the future Nocatee, then now is a great time to buy in there for not paying the Nocatee prices and having some of the Nocatee lifestyle. Are the amenities as good as Nocatee? No, not at this point, but maybe at some point down the road, it'll be able to compete and compare. Beach Walk, amazing amenities, super unique, really high fees. Beacon Lake, I didn't mention, has my favorite clubhouse. It's an amazing clubhouse, and the community, a lot of times we just do our own events up there. It's super cool, and just a good balance between being a smallish neighborhood and without being too big, and an amazing location. And then Nocatee really has it all. I guess it doesn't have the river like Rivertown, but it does have access to a lot of the intercoastal waterway, iguana preserve, and things like that by kayak. So that's my top 6. What are your thoughts? If you want to dive deeper on any of these neighborhoods, then hit me on the DM, send me a text, and let's go stay classy, St. Johns County.